Hey Bass and Bob members, it's Rob here for the January 2017 Crappie Experts meeting. It's nice to be back. I've missed the last couple meetings. Bob did an excellent job while I was out bass fishing on some tournaments, but I'm excited to get this one going here. We're from the lovely old Kinderhook. Today we have a live watch party for the MLF. Major League Fishing was actually here this past summer, so we're all out of here at Kinderhook to watch that as soon as this meeting's over. But to get it started, the crappie have really picked up. We're coming into January. December has been excellent for crappie fishing, so I'm excited to hear what these guys have to say. We got Byrne with us. Most of you guys know our panel. We got Byrne, we got the coach, Gary Schultz, Wayne, the great Wayne, and Jim Bierhoff. So we got a great panel today, and I mean, the crappie fishing has been excellent. So I'll start with Wayne. Wayne hears a lot of what's going on at the shop. I know he's done some crappie fishing himself. So Wayne, what you've been seeing, what you've been hearing, what have you done? What's the word on the crappie?
Oh, good. I mean, it's a plus right now. The crappie they're feeding up, they're getting fat and sassy, and they're starting to bunch up where I mean, if you find them, it doesn't take long to catch them. Reports a really big crappie.
Yeah.
I mean, bigger than I've heard ever, I guess. Last weekend, I have some guys that they come in the shop. They call me every morning and basically give me a fishing report.
Yeah.
And he was up to Grabois last weekend and Kaufman. He said the ramp was full. There was trucks and trailers all over the top of it. When they come in, they said everybody had them.
Wow.
And big crappie. He said he couldn't believe the size of some of the crappie.
What's been the hottest bait that they've been coming in trying to buy, Wayne, or is it a mixture?
It's a mixture. Everybody, they come in and they ask what color, and I said, if you got a favorite color, it'll work.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really
that's pretty
will.
good.
Your shad patterns. We've been throwing them Lake Fork. Had good luck with them for the Bobby Garlands, and a lot of the big Bobby Garlands, the 3-inch slab slayers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so that tells you that them big crappie biting, because that's a pretty big bait.
Yeah, it is a big bait. Jim, what have you been seeing lately? I know you've done a little bit of crappie fishing as of late too.
You know what they are? They're biting on the docks, they're biting shallow.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't reached that winter pattern where they've got down to 30, 35, 40 feet yet that I've seen. There've been a couple of people tell me they've been there, but I haven't had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all those fish are biting 2 to 3 foot down.
No
a lot
kidding.
of little big black crappie are right there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of little crappie too under the docks. They are biting though. You can use anything. You can use minnows, jigs, anything right now.
A little bit of everything.
They're feeding right now.
You almost think they'd bite a bare hook right now as good as they're biting if you're around a school of them, you know?
But there's still people come in and don't catch them too. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're schooled up places, and if you can find that,
Yeah.
still can find that spot where
Yeah.
the fish are at.
Yeah, we talked about how great they're biting.
But
Me and Ben went for a couple hours yesterday, or 2 days ago, but we had great big wind. I mean great big wind, blistering wind, and we only fished for a couple hours, and hey, we were unsuccessful. I mean, it's not a given. But I mean, if you find them, I mean, like Wayne said, you catch the big ones and you could really load your boat up pretty quickly.
But yeah, don't get disappointed though if you don't. We're sitting here telling people, yay, you know,
Yeah,
everybody's catching them.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's catching them because they gotta find them.
that's true.
If you find them, you're gonna catch them.
Very true. What would be your best advice for them to find them right now, Jim? Brush and dock related?
Brush and dock, yeah, I don't think.
Deeper water, yeah, those things.
Yeah.
I mean, like you say, they're suspended, but still in deeper water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They want to be around that deeper water, it seems like, and some cover. I mean, you know, the cover of a boat dock, the cover of the brush is always a big player when crappie fishing any time of the year. So make sure you key on those areas, but make sure you have some depth around. You know, we're not talking about 5 foot underneath the 5 foot of water. You want to have some depth.
And don't forget the stick bait. Boy, they're just starting with the stick bait.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Coach, let's hear your story. I know you talk about some of the crappie you've been catching lately. You're more of a bass guy, but I know you do quite a bit of crappie fishing as well. So what?
This time of year, I'm pretty bad about chasing those crappie. What I'm doing, first of all, I listened to these two guys a little bit, and then I went out and cheated. I went down and talked to them first, but I get my electronics and I eliminate docks with electronics, and this week is the first week I've really caught them balling up on docks. You know, always before you'll see a few here, see a few there. they really balled up this week, and the afternoon's been better, you know, from 3 o'clock on for me. I know I talked to Quentin Reed, he's catching them in the morning, Jack's catching them better in the morning. I'm just too lazy to get up in the morning. But I'm using my electronics on them, finding them. They're relating to crossbars. They're under docks.
So you're shooting, but is there times where you don't necessarily have to shoot it in there? They're kind of just hanging around that cover. Maybe a little overcast day where they're not.
Cloudy day, you're going to find that. If you get on these banks where the sun goes over the bank, you know, later in the afternoon, they'll be out there on the edge of that shade.
I touch on that because I do quite a bit of dock shooting, and I'm obsessed with it, as a lot of you guys know. But I look for them on these docks, but certain days they won't necessarily be. All of them will be under that dock. You can parallel the sides, parallel the fronts. They might even roam off a little bit with a little bit of cloud cover.
That's where those crossbars come into play right there.
Yeah.
Those crossbars are right on the nose of those docks, and you get out there and you can fish those crossbars and catch a ton of crossbars.
Exactly. So it's not necessarily having to shoot it in there all the time, but they will relate to that cover. Bern, what's your story? I know you've been crappie fishing lately. I know you enjoy wintertime crappie fishing.
Yeah, this week I've been out 2 or 3 times, I guess. The only thing I'd like for you to come down and clean the crappie. That's what I'd like for you. Yeah, well, I got my new graph, and I can't thank you guys enough for giving me that graph. 1198. I mean, it's something. I can't stress enough. Bass and Bob members here, if you can get you a side imaging graph, you can become a crappie fisherman real quick. And just barely learn how to run it, and you don't have to be an expert, because I'm proof of that. But yeah, I found a nice spot yesterday.
Using your side imaging?
Yeah, I used that plus, well, my other graph too, and I really lucked into a good spot. I mean, and it was out of the wind, and that was a big kind of a key yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of guys were fighting it. I've seen them, you know. And I had some bigger docks that protected me, and then I just went around and I found what I needed to fish.
What was it set up like, Bern, depth-wise, and related to the main channel or secondary or what?
Well, it was I don't know how to explain it. It was a whole bunch of condo docks together.
Yeah.
A big area of condo docks. And the wind was out of the south, and it was protected from, and I came in from the north in there. And then I just started going around these docks, and it was in deeper water. I mean, this was deeper water, and all the brush and everything. And shad just showed up on my electronics, big time. Well, and it was really too deep to fish here. As I moved toward the bank to the end of there was some plastic wave runner lifts. And I mean, boy, it was plenty of room between them and whatever. I mean, there's just like almost every cast.
How were they hitting it halfway down? How deep was it, Bern? And
I would say those fish were in about 13 foot of water.
Were they over deeper water though?
Well, the deeper water was just right over here.
Ah, gotcha.
I mean, you know, and they could go from here to there and just whatever, and just shad. It was just
Set up good.
Well, it was just perfect. And when I'm driving up, I mean, I seen, and I said, oh boy, you know, and that's what you really look
good
for.
deal.
I had everything. Brush, depth, shad. And
Yeah.
I was counting down to 12 before I removed my jig this week.
Really? About 12? As we move along here, I wanted to bring up the stick bait. Stick bait's a really good way to catch crappie here when we get into these winter months, and especially on these days where we get a little bit of wind. It's really hard to feel your jigs unless you go to a real heavy jig. So anybody at the table want to pick that up? Anybody been having any luck with a stick bait, or have you heard anything? Wayne, I'll start with you. What's the word on the stick bait fishing for crappie right now?
Yeah, everybody's been out there bass fishing. I've got a few guys that's keen on crappie just with a stick bait. And everybody that's even bass fishing with stick bait's coming in and saying that they're catching off a big crappie on a stick bait. But I heard a report last week. I didn't see it verified, but I heard a report of a gentleman catching his limit, weighing his 10 best, that weighed almost 20 pounds on a stick
I
bait.
heard about that. I think that was the Higdon boys, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not
What a
sure.
surprise.
Yeah, but I can believe it because Kenny, the gentleman, he's out there every other day, and he's seen it last week at Kaufman. A guy had his limit, saying that they was all 14 plus inches.
Wow.
And Kenny couldn't believe it until he seen them. He said they was. Everyone was 14.
All stick bait fish.
Yep, all stick bait fishing, 14 above. So a 14-inch black crappie's going to weigh 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it can happen.
He's going.
Yeah.
Jim, I know you love stick bait fishing for crappie and bass.
I haven't made it stick bait fishing, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna find that dock, remember this, that's got the wind blowing into it, and it's got shade on it, there. Every one of those big platforms I'm gonna try,
With a little depth.
with the little depths right there, with that wind crashing in, where that stick bait goes down and it gets pushed underneath that dock a little bit.
I'll tell you what,
So-
I'll share my thoughts on it, just because we are down Terry and Jack today, but I really love, on sunny, calm days, I like going to the docks
Yeah.
with a jig, with a monkey milk jig or a blue ice jig with a 16-ounce head, and finding a school. And like Coach said, your electronics, and Bern touched on it, your side imaging, I mean, it can eliminate so many things for you when it comes to setting out after these crappie. Now, on overcast days, these crappie will tend to scatter a little more. Like Vern always tells me, that these fish don't have eyelids, so on sunny days they want to be under somewhere in some shade, in some cover. But on these overcast days, they'll tend to wander a little more. You can still look for them on your side scan around these areas that we're talking with depth, and these are great days to throw a stick bait. These are excellent days to throw a stick bait. Now you got to work your depths, maybe wait your stick bait, see how long it takes, but I personally really like overcast with a little bit of wind days for the stick bait as of real sunny, slick days for it.
You're going to find when you draw this lake down, Robbie, when you get her down to 654, somewhere down that range, that's when you're going you don't necessarily have to fish a dock, especially in big black crappie. They'll school up on these points.
On the points.
On the points, yeah. And man, that's when you can have a blast with them.
Wind be a big
Wind
player.
always helps.
I think
Wind
wind's a
always
big
helps.
player with that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yep, wind always helps. And believe it or not, even where you're catching them stick bait fish, that time of year, you can carp them big black crappie.
That's one thing we don't talk about that much, Wayne. Maybe talk to us a little bit more about corking. I know one of my good advisors, Stacy Hilton, he does quite a bit of corking on secondary points. That he'll find a shad and maybe find a little nestle of crappie on a side scan, and then he'll get a cork out. What's the deal with that?
That's that bait sitting. It's basically like throwing a stick bait for a bass. That's that bait sitting right in front of them, long enough where it just tempts them. And once you get that school fired up, then it's game on. I mean, you can ask Jim that. When them fish get down there 25, 35 feet deep on his dock down there, you gotta just sit there and hold that thing. Now, I mean, you may hold it for 10, 15, 20 seconds. Man, when they decide to hit it, they'll jerk the pole out of your head.
Yeah.
And that's basically the same way they do when you're carking.
Yeah.
And once you get that school fired up, you can catch the biggest crappie out there on a carp.
That's great input, Wayne. I mean, right now in the wintertime, they're just biting all over. I want to ask you guys, is it from dam to dam? Can is there better places than other? I prefer kind of myself the gravel to the dam area, big water, clearest water, a lot of cover. What would you guys say? What would you say along the lines of from dam to dam, or is it just limited?
It's your best area, I'm going to say, is from the lodge, like you said, to the lodge and Gravois in the dam area. It seems like where you have your best luck, especially stick bait fishing, finding the big groups of them. You can catch them any place. I mean, Bob will tell you that. He fishes the glace a lot for bass, and he'll get into a school more. He'll just have to leave because it's a crappie or a cast.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and get it wrapped up here. We got our watch party starting soon for Major League Fishing. So, Vern, if you got to go out tomorrow to catch a bunch of crappie here coming into January, what would you do?
Well, I'd get my side scan and I would run me some dots, and wherever I found the biggest bunch, I'd start shooting the dot or throwing on the sides of it. With a 16th ounce jig, I throw blue ice a lot.
Great color.
The other one was a little dark purple, and I got one in that, it's got a little darker color for a cloudy day. And then the jerk bait, you know, I'm a jerk bait fan. So.
Right.
But one little thing I do, when we get into like a little bit of jerk baiting thing, those little pointer baits.
Those little pointers.
Those little
yeah.
pointer baits, they really work good sometimes.
So definitely look into those guys. Those are that's
those
great.
are something that, and they'll catch bass as well as they will.
Thanks, Vern. Coach.
I'm gonna give you a trick. An old man taught me a long time ago. He had the crappie nibbles, and I don't use them a lot. He didn't put them on his hook. He took it and run it up and down his line, right above his jig. And he says that flakes off just a little bit. Just a simple trick you might want to try.
Hey, that's great. That's great input, Coach. What do you think, Wayne? If you had to go out tomorrow, what would you be looking for? And what would you bring with you?
Oh, first thing I look for would be shad, and concentrate on deeper water. And the cloudy, windy days, I want to go out and have fun. It's going to be a stick bait. Calm day, it's going to be flipping docks with some kind of jig.
Perfect. Jim?
I dock fish a lot, so on a dock there, I'd flip into well and I'd fish slow. Fish as slow as you can. I mean, because they're getting lethargic, so fish slow. If you catch one, fire them up like Wayne said, and you're going to catch a bunch in that one spot. But I just keep working down that dock. Fish slow. Don't real fast or anything, just fish slow.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you next month.